All right, guys, welcome back. Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X. We have a very fun show today. I don't say that often. So today, a disturbing locker room invasion. I'm sure you guys have seen at Gold's Gym in LA. Mamdani's radical victory and the demographics behind it. California's controversial Proposition 50, which passed. Mikey Sherrill's suspicious New Jersey win. And Abigail Spanberger's campaign built on amnesty and anti-Trump rhetoric. So we have a video. A man invades the women's locker room at Gold's Gym in Los Angeles.
How are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm asking you question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay.
He's not even trying to look like a woman. He's just a straight up dude. He doesn't look like a woman. He's not dressed like a woman. That is just a dude and had the nerve to walk back in. So this happened. And the woman speaking is a black woman. So let me get this straight, guys. We are now, and I guess Gold's Gym suspended her membership. So we now have people taking the side of a white man over a black woman. That's how you know things are really bad. And then this comes out the other day, you guys. The story unravels. It just keeps getting better. In news that will shock no one, it turns out the trans-identified male who was in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym is a convicted felon who did time for domestic violence. We've warned for years that predators are using the trans label as a cover to harm women and children. The first video, you guys, when I started talking about politics, the first video I ever did was about the man who had an erection next to a little girl at the Wee Spa in downtown LA. And of course, you know, a month later, it all comes out. These people are convicted. You know, they're convicted of something. They're pedophiles, whatever it is. And I couldn't believe that they revoked her gym membership. And this is allowed. I'm like, what's stopping that guy from coming in and being violent? And also, he was being very aggressive with her. And did you hear? She was like, oh, now all of a sudden, look, you're acting just like a man because that's what you are, because that's what happens. I've had debates with trans people, and the second you call them out and ask them to step into reality, they get very, very, very aggressive. But look, we all saw this coming. So we have Mamdani. Mamdani's win exposes the ideological divide in New York City and the country, and it's not about his policies. It's about identity. His base is made up of almost entirely young progressives and recent transplants, while even mainstream Democrats are calling out his extremism. So we have an image. White men are not the only group in New York City that did not vote for Mamdani. Literally white men versus everybody else. So this is a very important chart. It's pretty much, yeah, as you can see, it's white men versus everybody else who voted for this guy. And we have an image. 84% of women aged 18 to 29 voted for Mamdani. That's really bad, you guys. We've been saying for quite a long time. Specifically, white liberal women are destroying this country. I don't know why they are so radical. I assume it's, I don't know, everything going on in the schools, but it's very, very bad. So we have another image. Insane statistics show it's mostly New Yorkers, new New Yorkers who supported him. So this is the one that I think is the most important. It says this is probably the only set of stats from the New York election you really need to know. So how long have you lived in New York City? Less than 5 years ago. Less than 5 years you've lived there. 83%. 5 to 10 years, 76%. 83% is almost everyone, okay? You were born in New York City. You were an actual New Yorker. 34%. So who voted for him? The same people who statistically are ruining this country, you guys, okay? Who voted for him? Transplants, which have ruined New York City. Liberal white women and hipsters have moved to New York, and this is who they voted for, okay? Because when shit hits the fan, they're going to escape right back to where they came from. It doesn't affect them. I see these TikTokers. They're living in $15K a month apartments. They're taking Ubers. They're going to expensive grocery stores. This isn't going to affect them. They came in and voted and ruined New Yorkers' lives who did not vote for this. This is not New Yorkers, okay? And then when things get bad, they're probably going to go back to their ironically conservative parents' house, who probably are very wealthy and support their lifestyle. And this is going to royally over everyone who is a real New Yorker. And I saw Daily Wire did a video, an interview in New Yorkers, people who actually own bodegas and all this stuff. It's very, very bad. So you have transplants and you have immigrants, and I guarantee everyone that voted for him is obviously Muslim. And then also the self-hating liberal Jews. We got to have a talk next show. Okay, you guys? So we have a video. Ted Cruz lists countries mentioned by the next mayor of America's largest city. Notice what's missing here.
I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties.
So he goes on to list pretty much 20 different countries that he has to thank and all the people of those countries. Notice he didn't say thank you, New Yorkers. Thank you, Americans. He thanked everyone else, ironically, when white liberals are the ones who overwhelmingly voted for him, along with, whoever else is in that group. No thank you to the country that made this stream possible, the guy who's never had a job before, who's a trust fund kid. And I want to mention, when I've been reviewing a lot of these clips today, the fact that he says he's a socialist, to me, is one of the craziest things here. It's one thing to say you are a Democrat and you are progressive. It's another thing to outright admit you are a socialist. That is the craziest part to me. And of course, never thanks Americans, doesn't thank New Yorkers, doesn't thank America, the only place that this could happen, okay? Because other countries, by the way, you have to have a resume. You have to have a job before you become a leader. Not in America, though. You could just be a trust fund kid who lives in a rent-controlled apartment. So we have a video. Mamdani is a Muslim first, a socialist second, and not an American. We know that, though.
After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. And most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this.
Yeah, he refuses to apologize for a lot of things, like his comments about 9/11, his comments about October 7th, comments about all the other horrible things that he said, because remember, his aunt was the real victim of that. So, not American. Wait a minute, but we already covered this. His own mom said he's not an American. His own mother said that. So we have a video. Van Jones says Mamdani's victory speech was filled with hate and rage, and it was. It went very dictator very fast, if you guys watched.
I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior, even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think
If you guys don't know who his parents are, by the way, you should look into them. His mom is like a famous film. His dad was like, these are not middle class people. I'm just throwing that out there. If you guys watch the speech, they're right, because he's a Muslim. So once they're in power, what do? They show their true colors. His whole campaign trail was like, oh, I'm this cool, relatable guy. I'm in a gay club the night before the election or wherever he is. And then the second what does he start doing? He starts threatening our sitting president. And he shows who he is. He is this like evil, aggressive guy that has policies that are going to harm people, and he will bring in people just like himself. Also, when I see him and his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, I'm like, Jesus, you guys, these people are going to run New York City. This looks like a hipster couple you see in Silver Lake. It doesn't even, when you look at them, it doesn't even make sense. You're like, shouldn't they be at 33 taps like after a Dodger game? Like, I don't even understand this. It's insane to look at, okay? If you guys did not watch the speech, it was him shitting on America, threatening Donald Trump, which I will not stand for, and it was very hateful and very threatening, okay? We have a video. Zohran shows up at a gay bar at 1 a.m. Oh, what do you know? Speak of the devil. Here it is.
Are we ready to beat Andrew Cuomo? Are we ready to win a city we can afford? Are we ready to make history? Let's go out there and do it. Thank you, my friends.
A Muslim socialist at a gay bar. Queers for Palestine, am I right? It's the same exact crowd. I also was like, can we talk about like how unserious this is? I was talking about it on X in a very serious manner. I was like, yeah, no, like people's lives are at stake. So I wouldn't say that you should be at a gay bar at like 1 a.m. before a big work day. Okay. But once again, he's a trust fund kid, so he's never had a job. So he doesn't really understand that. So following this, we have an image. He's smiling with a woman who made being gay punishable by death in Uganda. You know, guys, sometimes I don't have to say anything. Sometimes the jokes kind of write themselves. So finna turn up 1 a.m. at a gay bar. And now he is proudly smiling. She made it punishable by death to be gay in Uganda. I fear I need say no more. Okay? We have a video. More crazy statements from Jennifer Welch.
If it was all white people here right now, it would be boring as shit. I've grown up in those circles. Everybody needs some spice and some color in their lives. Life's a lot better. That's the coolest thing about America.
It is the coolest thing about America.
Except for multicultural.
Well said.
And I need to teach people how to embrace that. These crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it.
So she's just talking about how, you know, America has no culture, white people have no culture. We need to embrace multiculturalism. And also just a typical Democrat, liberal, white woman hating on the people who have made quite literally all of this possible. The people and the country that made something this horrible possible. What do you mean? What is even left for white people at this point? We're told that we're told by Democrats we should all die. We shouldn't even exist. We don't contribute anything. We, quote unquote, have no culture. We have no history. We have no past. We're not allowed to be proud of what we are, what we've accomplished, our heritage. We're not allowed to be a part of any of this. So yeah, this is this sick race traitor Jennifer Welch. She's been going viral very often. She's definitely going to be one of the people that we need to watch out for on the Republican side and maybe put her ass in check with words because we don't resort to violence. We have a video. Muslim girls dancing after Mamdani victory with a shocking caption. By the way, I didn't even pull all the videos I saved of this. There were 4 more just this morning on my algorithm, so this is not a one-off video. POV, you wanted to move to a Muslim country, but your city just became one. Oh, rip that scarf off their heads. Who the wants to move to a Muslim country? Who? You guys don't. You know what the funniest part about Muslims are? And like these girls, I'm like, you're in New York. First of all, over our dead bodies will we ever become a Muslim country? That will literally never happen. We watched the UK fall, and we will learn from their mistakes, and it's not gonna happen, okay? But also, why the don't you guys want to be around your own people? Why is that? Why is it all the Muslims in the world love to disperse away from the places that they claim are so great? You don't even want to live around your own people. So why do we? Multiple of these videos, because that's the thing. The mask with them comes off so fast. The same way with his speech. He was like, I'm this like fun guy. I'm at a gay bar. And then he's like, we are coming after Trump and Republicans, blah, blah. The mask comes off because of who they are and the religion they follow. Just look at them. Oh, well, now you're going to become Muslim. Yeah, no, the we're not. And if you don't like dogs and you don't like bacon and you want to live under Sharia law, then you can get the out of our country. How about that? our country now and forever, okay? This is why it's so funny. People tell me, when is there going to be a middle ground, Emily? There's never going to be a middle ground. Charlie Kirk was in the middle ground, and you shot his throat out in front of his friends and family. There is no middle ground now. You have people like Nick Fuentes rising in power, and everyone's calling him a Nazi. No, it's because people want to know what he has to say because they like his views. Do I agree with everything? No, but we should be banding together at all costs. The fighting on the right, it's got to stop, because this shit, they are proud to say this. They are proud. In the UK, women are getting fined walking their dogs because Muslims can't be around dogs. So get the out of our country, okay? I'll keep it short for now. We have a video of a girl who got punched. This is funny.
Women in NYC will say they feel unsafe and post videos about getting punched in the face on the streets. Then they turn around and vote for the guy who wants to defund the police. Hi, women who got punched in the face and also voted for Mamdani here. People in New York City specifically are always trying to use the situation of me getting punched in the head to fit whatever narrative that they see fit. At first, when a photo of the man who punched me was posted, so many comments saying, oh, of course that's the color of his skin. Not shocking. So people could justify their racist agenda. People also constantly use, oh, a homeless man punched you in the face. Not once have I ever said that that man was homeless, because guess what? He's not. He fully has a home. To immediately jump to and say without any proof or fact, because again, it's not true, that the man who punched me was homeless is very harmful to people who are actually homeless.
Yeah, the government pays for his home.
In terrible, unfortunate situations that have landed them to be without a home, and not just because they're out here punching people in the face. The reason the man punched me in the face is not because he is homeless, not because of the color of his skin, but simply because he is mentally ill, and anybody can be mentally ill. I've also never said that I feel unsafe walking the streets of New York. I've actually said the opposite. I have lived in New York City for 8 years, and that is the one and only time.
So this is the epitome of, you guys, she's a influencer. Guarantee this girl comes from a very nice, lovely white household somewhere that's most likely a conservative area. Her parents probably helped pay for her life to come to New York City to pursue her dreams of being a useless, mentally fashion influencer who will say anything she has to say while she just cashes out. Dude, this girl posts like buying cars, getting her second house in the Hamptons, going to fancy grocery stores where a salad's $35. Like, you guys, do you see what these people are? When shit hits the fan, she gets to flee. She's not taking the Uber. She's not going to bodegas. These people are so insane. They don't even realize how funny this is to an outside perspective. You literally got punched in the face by, yes, a mentally ill, probably homeless, Black guy. Okay, that's what it was, because New York is soft on crime. And then you just voted to the guy who's even more soft on crime. Because the thing is, I guarantee you, after that happened, unless she just cried on TikTok for attention, did you not like go to the police or file a police report? Unless you're just kind of chilling. But I can assure you, Miss Haley, whatever her name is, when the enters you, it's not going to be as fun and cute as it is just getting punched. Okay? Got it, sweetheart? We have California voters passed Proposition 50 to redraw districts, countering GOP gerrymandering. California voters passed Prop 50, a measure sold as fairness but widely seen as a power grab for Democrats. Critics say it dismantles the nonpartisan commission system and opens the door to a one-party redistricting. So we have an image. Ken Calvert breaks down Prop 50 lies told by politicians. God, the influencers they hired to promote this shit too is just Billie Eilish. Go vote yes. No one even knew what this was, okay? But what did they do? They did what the liars did. Oh, Republicans are grabbing power. It's not what this is. So with the passage of Prop 50, Californians were sold a bill of goods, allowing Gavin Newsom and his radical allies in Sacramento to unprecedented power grab to redraw the congressional map and silence those who disagree with his extreme policies. Go ahead and read this. I'm going to go off for a second. So this is what this is. They're going to redistrict. So first of all, what is it? Almost 40% of Californians are Republicans. That is a huge, huge, huge number, okay? Not even considering the people who vote for, Republican candidates who still are labeled as Democrats, because at this point, you might as well be a registered Democrat, because if you're like me, your ballot will never show up somehow. So here's the thing. Now you are going to have almost close to no representation for Republicans at a place where it's almost like 40% Republicans. We deserve representation, okay? We have a race for a governor that's going to be coming up. There are two people in the lead. Those are both Republicans. So you are going to have places in California, say like Huntington Beach, that are fully red, and they are going to be represented by very far left blue people. That is all this is. This is another way for them to continue to cheat and steal and rig elections. Am I shocked it passed? No, because I'm not stupid, but it is very disappointing. And now we are going to have to fight even harder for fairness. And that means Republicans in California, get off your asses, okay? So we have a video. It's an overview of what Prop 50 does.
This is the new map of House districts that will be in place for next year. As you can see, Democrats think they will get 5 additional seats. The Republicans will go their delegation potentially from 9 down to as few as 4, as basically they carve up the state in a way that spreads the Republicans very thin, just off of the coast entirely. That is a remarkable change for California, which has traditionally had some of the closest and most competitive races, particularly since they changed the whole system of redistricting, giving it to a nonpartisan commission. Voters are saying, actually, we'll take it back. We're going to go with Governor Newsom on this, and we're going to take it back for the rest of this decade. The reason why? Look at what's happening across the country, Lindsay. States including Texas, Missouri, Ohio, North Carolina have already carved up their new districts. That's going to give Republicans potentially as many as 8 additional districts. And Mary Bruce, who's with us in the studio right now, even with that win in California, that only takes 5 off the board. It's still advantaged Republicans, but this is a big step and might be the most consequential thing that happens tonight for the midterms in 2028.
How insane do you have to be as a Democrat to be like, this is about it being fair and you guys not rigging this and taking over power when it's 48-4? Are you kidding me? Who has all the power when it's 48-4 and originally was potentially 48-9? Like, are you guys kidding me? Mike Johnson rips apart Newsom and Prop 50 apart, as he should.
I'll make a comment about the tragedy in California last night. What California did is very, very different, as you all know, by comparison to what a state like Texas did. Texas was following the federal and state constitution, following their state law and redistricting. California was not. They had to trample over their own state law, over their own independent redistricting commission that they had all put into place. It was a desperation, a sign of desperation on the Democrat Party. It was a game to try to rig the election, as if you could gerrymander California anymore. They managed to do it. I mean, there's like 53 representatives from California. We had 9. They want us to have 3. I mean, it's just a blatant example of Gavin Newsom's immoral leadership and the fact that they will do anything to try to rig the system to win. They know that they cannot win on their policies. They know that they don't have a national leader other than the Marxists now to try to set the tone and guide the course. And so they're going to try to rig the game.
This is the same gaslighting as like Republicans have too much power in California. Literally said no one ever. You're really gonna convince me Karen Bass won over Rick Russo, who's also letting me down because that's all people do in California. But this is the same way they gas you about the government shutdown and blame it on Republicans. No, Republicans are held hostage because we are not going to cater to Democrats about all the bullshit spending they want, and then they blame it on us. No, you guys have voted over and over and over, 14 times for a Democrat or for a government shutdown, and now because we won't give you money, you're keeping it shut down. You guys are keeping it shut down, not Republicans. But this is what they do. They're like, Republicans are taking all the power away. Yeah, we're like 2% represented, and we're taking all the power away. Unbelievable. So we have a Newsom speech after Prop 50, and it's just anti-Trump. It's all anything is now.
We're proud of the work that the people of the state of California did tonight to send a powerful message to an historic president. Donald Trump is an historic president. He is the most historically unpopular president in modern history. In every critical category, Donald Trump is underwater. He promised to make us healthier. He promised to make us wealthier. We're sicker and poorer. And he fundamentally understands that. Why else would he call Greg Abbott saying he's entitled to 5 seats? Why else is he trying to rig the midterm elections before one single vote is even cast?
Everything they're going to do, they accuse us of doing, and their followers are very stupid, and they believe it. Once again, he has no good policies to run on. So what does he do? He shits on Trump. He says he promised to make America healthy again. Bro, every single thing Bobby has done to try to pass to make America healthy again has been stopped by Democrats. You saw the way he sat there and was ripped apart by them. Because why? Because they're all funded by Big Pharma. Every time Republicans try to do something, Democrats block us from doing it. And then they say, look, they don't get anything done. I'm like, you are historically failing in every single category. Trump is the greatest president of our lifetime. I don't think it can get better personally. And all you can do is attack him, even though there is a mass exodus out of his state, because it is literally hell here. Even with money, life sucks here. That's the craziest part about it. By the way, did his wife like Harvey Weinstein, or what? Like, what's going on with that? And then he cheated on and was banging the last, dude who was running his campaign, his wife. And I'm like, so why don't you guys clean up your household before you come for anyone else? So we have a video. California passes Prop 50 to take House seats via redistricting, while 92% still say they want a nonpartisan commission.
The yes vote in particular with Prop 50. The reason voters said they voted yes on Prop 50, 82% of the case, 8 out of 10 voters say it was to counter the GOP changes, not because they saw it was the best way to draw those district lines.
Okay, so let's just pause here. So 82% of people voted yes, but they still say this was not a good way to do this, you guys. Like, do you understand how insane that is? That's like 82% of people being like, yeah, I voted for Trump for president, but I don't like the way he's going to go about anything. Like, do you realize how crazy that is? No. And then also we have an image of how is Prop 50 called so fast when normally it takes weeks to count anything. It takes California 38 days to count the 2024 elections. Last night it took 2 hours to call Prop 50. Why is that? That's because they cheat so well and they know we're never going to do anything about it because there are no Republicans left in California with balls. It's pretty much just me against the world at this point. We have a video. Democrats lead non-English speaking immigrants to vote yes on Prop 50. Oh, wow. Cheating in real time, guys.
I mean, I think the fact that I have footage of you guys leading a bunch of Asian Americans to the voting polls. I speak Chinese. None of them know what they're voting for. You don't think that's weird? Is that even legal?
Ma'am, we're going inside.
Great, but you're still here. So if Republicans were pushing for Prop 50, would you support it? If Republicans introduced Prop 50, would you support it?
It's a great idea, yes.
So when Republicans want to redistrict, you're going to support it?
If they support Prop 50 the way that it's...
What if they did it their way?
Can you please go outside? We're over this. We've given you plenty of time. Leave.
Or what? You're silencing press? You're unable to answer questions about a policy that you support and believe
Public
in?
servants don't care about the public.
If you support...
Are you going through the security or not?
I'm going to. Truth hurts, doesn't it? Thanks for exposing your corruption.
Do you guys see the way these people treat us when we call them out? You are leading an entire group of Chinese immigrants who don't speak English because you obviously bribe them. You are most likely paying them. You guys always get caught. And then the nerve to treat the person asking questions like that. Never forget these people. You're a public servant. You serve us. We pay your bills. So the attitude of these people, they thought this woman was horrible. Wait till you meet me in person, okay? I'll be outside your house camping, okay? And what are you going to do? Remove me? You don't remove the other 5,000 people camping on the street, and you're not going to remove me either. I'll set up a coffee machine. I'll put a dumb Starbucks like we did in Los Feliz right there again. We have Gavin Newsom saying there is nothing I dislike more than a politician who sits there and lies to you.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
I mean, what the am I even supposed to say to this? The shorter list would be anything he said that was true. How about that? Remember, crime's down. I never use the term Latinx. I don't support men and women's sports. There isn't a max exodus. U-Haul is actually not making tons of money. People did not die in their homes because of the fires. Karen Bass is a complete, amazing leader. It's not because she's like some black lesbian, everything this guy says is a lie. I'm like, well, you lie to your ex-wives, you lie to us, you're probably lying to your current wife. I've heard some things, but for legal purposes, I will come at you another time about those. We have Mikey Sherrill, who won New Jersey. Jesus, guys, how many times have I been talking about this race? And it would have been probably in the bag if people got off there. I mean, she's nuts, you guys. She's nuts. I don't even want to go over this a bunch because we've gone over it so many times. She's the one that's like, I gotta have abortions for my 16-year-olds because Trump's president and everyone's getting. She's out of her mind. The fact that you would vote a Democrat woman over a man any day would make you insane. Yeah, she supports, all the crazy bullshit. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. We talk about this for weeks. I am extremely upset about this victory. It is a huge, huge letdown. And the problem is not only is it the infighting and all that, like we've gone over with Republicans, we need to put in good candidates. Okay. And we need America first candidates. We need to stop doing this bullshit of like, oh, we'll put in someone who like is extremely unlikable. Like, why the are we ever putting in Republicans as well that have gone against Trump? That is insane. Trump is the only reason any of these people would win. The fact that this woman won against a normal dude who's a business guy is honestly shocking. But once again, New Jersey, you will get what you vote for. It sucks. Trust me, I'm in California. I'm not just shitting on you guys. I understand. I get it. But that was such an easy win. Such a letdown. Okay? But here's the thing. Numbers don't seem to add up in her victory. So we have a screenshot of saying, okay, so I guess I've been pronouncing it wrong. Why do you guys off, okay? Everyone has stupid names. It's not my fault if I don't pronounce them right. Chia Torelli, apparently, received 122,000 more total votes than he got in 2021. He got more votes than Murphy received when he won re-election. And she got 450,000 more votes. I don't know, you guys. Something isn't adding up to me there. Did they factor in the illegals? Is that why she got that many votes? Are they doubling the ballots? Kind of like when they put Zohran's name on there twice, which I thought was really weird. That is a very large number. And to a normal person, it's not really adding up, if I'm being honest. They should go look into that election specifically. We have Ron DeSantis explaining why there are so few Republicans left in blue states. I'm here.
Well, first of all, Jack would have won 4 years ago, and he would have won tonight if you just take all the Republicans who've left New Jersey since I've been governor and moved to Florida. If they could have still voted in New Jersey, he would have won both of those races. Same thing with New York City. Maybe not a Republican, but, Giuliani would not be able to win with this electorate the way it is now. Because what happens, Sean, is a leftist politician gets in, whether it's destroying a state like California, Illinois, New York, whether it's a city like New York City or Chicago. And the people that it tends to drive off are the center-right voters. And so when they leave, the resulting electorate is actually more liberal. That's how you go from Lori Lightfoot to Brandon Johnson in Chicago, which is digging the hole deeper.
See, this is the problem, too, and I've called it out for years. I said the issue with California is all the wealthy people, successful people, normal people, independents, whatever, libertarians, center-right people, they all leave California. And I go, so if you guys continue to flee, and it's a coward thing to do. I'm sorry. I tell my friends this to their faces. It is a coward thing to do. When you guys flee places, it just gives more power and more votes because all we have coming in is liberals, homeless, which I'm sure they're voting some out, illegals, all this shit. So when you leave, it benefits them so much. And that's why we need to stop fleeing states because it also, when you flee the state, by the way, it becomes more blue and then it ruins other states too. Okay? It spreads like cancer. So we need to stop doing that. Republicans need to stay put where they are and we need to flip as many places red as humanly possible. Okay? And how lucky are you to be in Florida with DeSantis? Must be nice. We have Abigail Spanberger, what name is. Her campaign leans heavily on Obama and identity politics, while her own positions reveal a push for mass amnesty and expanded progressive power. Shocking. We have a video of Obama. He attacks Trump while campaigning for her.
We got a president who thinks it's okay to use the Justice Department to go after his political opponents. We've got a president who replaces career prosecutors with loyalists who will do what he wants. We've got a commander-in-chief who hires decorated officers because he thinks they might be more loyal to the Constitution than they are to him. He's deploying the National Guard in American cities, claiming to stop crime waves that don't actually exist.
He's a liar. Okay, so here's the thing about this video, which is crazy. First of all, why is Obama involved in so much local politics? The way he was campaigning, with Newsom and Prop 50 and all this stuff, and this random woman that most Americans, probably 80%, would have no idea, probably 99% would have no idea who she is. I'm like, that's crazy to me. That he steps in on, these smaller elections. But then here's the thing. All he's doing is talking about Trump. And, he's a dictator and all the power, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm sorry, wasn't it the Democrats that literally sent every 3-letter agency in the world to go, on top of trying to assassinate him multiple times, might I add, to go raid his home, attempt to put him in prison? And it's funny, not only did he win all those lawsuits, he's now countersuing and winning as well. I'm like, you guys abuse your power and then you claim that we do that. I'm like, how? How are we abusing power, especially Trump, when we have the whole world against us, when you guys control everything? Kind of like all those judges you guys control who let people stab people out on the streets. But I'm like, there's nothing in here about what she's going to do for you if she wins. It's just Trump is bad. There's nothing about her. There's nothing about her policies. There's nothing about her accomplishments. It's just Trump is bad. That's all this is. You'll notice anyone who got elected are the most outwardly spoken people against Donald Trump. But on our side, you know who wins? The people who support Trump the most, okay? We have a video. A Kenyan immigrant says she voted for this woman because of Trump's immigration policies.
I always vote since I became a citizen, and that was 20 years ago. And I migrated from Kenya originally. My family is back home in Kenya, and how I see how things are going on, with families being separated. As a human being, as a mother, separating families, especially children, from their mothers or
that's
fathers.
called being a bad mom, actually.
I don't believe in that. So
you don't believe in immigration, but you're here.
Also come and vote.
So go back to Kenya. It's called laws. Sorry. Maybe the third world hellhole you came from doesn't have laws and immigration and borders over there, but we do. I don't care if you're a mom and you're illegal here, you're a bad mom. Maybe your kids should be separated from you. How about that? Maybe, oh my God, isn't it the consequences of your own actions? Like, what is it? Hey, if you've been here, why don't you pick up a little bit better English? How about that? Then maybe I can believe for a couple seconds that, you're one of the useful migrants here. Sorry, guys. We have a Spanberger saying she wants mass amnesty for every illegal alien.
I certainly want to protect every person who might be interested in arriving at the United States, claiming asylum, working here, coming as a refugee, whatever the parameters or the need that begins their desire to move to our country.
Their desire? Okay, so every single one. So the drug lords, ISIS, terrorists, people trafficking fentanyl, the one trafficking children. So yeah, no, she wants to hear from all of them what all their reasons are. I like how she acts like she's some lovely woman, puts up photos and babies and stuff, and she says the most insane policies that literally harm specifically women and children the most, especially all the children getting trafficked at the border under these exact policies that she's promoting. I mean, the whole I want to come here to have a better life. I don't understand. Why do we have to take everyone? Why don't you stay where you are and try to make life better there? We're full. We're over capacity, okay? I was pretty middle on immigration for a while. Now I'm the most far right person on it. I'm I want every single illegal out of this country. I want the doors closed, and then we will slowly reopen to them. But you have to prove you are going to contribute when you come here. Okay. And I think we're done with the Muslims, just period. So we have a Virginia voter saying she supports this woman to reinstate women's rights because we've lost so many.
You're a Spanberger supporter. What about her agenda did you really like?
I'm really interested in seeing how we can improve women's rights. We need to get those back reinstated.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, Lauren. We really appreciate it.
What? That's it? You're not even going to ask her what the that means or what she's talking about? Reinstate women's rights? What? Why is there no pushback? I know because it's CNN. They would never be what are you talking about? What rights have we lost? Women that look exactly like her need to lose significantly more rights to appreciate how many rights they have. Okay, so name one thing you've lost. None. The funny thing is, you're probably the same woman that is totally fine with men taking over our spaces and, totally taking advantage of us here. I mean, we need to literally take these women and ship them somewhere where women have significantly less rights. One of the Muslim places that they love, and they need to stay there for a minimum 6 months, and then they're allowed to come back here. They need perspective. I don't think, do these people not travel? I'm constantly told I'm like some white trash because I didn't go to school and I haven't traveled that much. And I'm like, well, I can read and watch documentaries. I know enough I don't think there's anywhere in the world you have more rights than America. She needs Sharia law for a couple weeks to put her ass in check. We need an exchange program. But they go. I don't want anyone else in. No one else. We're full. We have an image. The fresh new face of the Democratic Party is a white guy in a dress. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you guys want from me on this one. I have nothing nice to say. Where the am I? Where's all the covers that I should be on? Where's the face of the young Republicans, the Republican Party, women on the right? How come I'm once again, an ugly dude in a dress at that? The dress is insane. Why do they all dress like mentally handicapped little girls? Why? It's always something really weird. It's never just look at the way I'm dressed. It's baggy jeans, some slides, an oversized t-shirt. That's normal. It's always just where do they source these things to look so genuinely weird? Anyways, hopefully he's not around any school districts. Because he'll be on some sort of watch list in a couple of years. That's it, guys. Fun stuff. We'll be back soon. Oh, the only good news today is that Nancy Pelosi, after 40 years of stock trading and, no kings and making millions and millions of dollars, has now officially retired. But remember, the demons never really retire. But good for you guys. She's made tons of money and she has contributed nothing in 40 years. See you guys soon.